Did you know we become more sensitive to stress, really cortisol, the hormone that's tied to stress, as we reach middle age? Did you know that extra sensitivity leads to belly fat, poor sleep, and other issues at this time? Did you also know that many of the things we think are relaxing us, such as having a glass of wine, watching TV, maybe sleeping, are actually just keeping us stuck in that stress response? So I'm continuing my series on what I learned during my year to thrive here. Last year in 2024, I took a deep dive into my wellness as a middle-aged woman, and I learned a ton. I've already covered sleep, and I'll link to that video below, and I'm also going to be covering energy and focus. They kind of go hand in hand, and exercise. And if there are any other questions, feel free to comment. Let me know what you want to learn more about as we go forward. There was so much that I learned, and I really just want to share the best of the best, the things that really move the needle. So in this video, I'm going to share a little bit about relaxation, what it is and what it isn't, as well as a few of the tips that I discovered really made a difference. And I also want to help you take those first steps. That's one thing I didn't do in the sleep video, that I received messages from people saying, okay, so now where do I begin? I want to help you with that. I want to help you actually make the changes that are going to move the needle for you. Welcome back to the Ignite Your Life podcast. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Erdman-Luntz. I have been a life coach and yoga educator for over 30 years now, and I specialize in helping people live their extraordinary life. I want to help you tap into that thing that makes you really excited, like in your heart of hearts, the thing you really want, and then help you take the steps to make that dream your reality. So as a life coach who focuses on helping people manifest the life of their dreams and working with the law of attraction, I have really found wellness is a crucial aspect of this, because when we take care of our bodies and our minds and our hearts with intention, we have more energy, we get our vibration up. It really is a crucial aspect of the entire equation. I actually got my master's in exercise physiology. I'm definitely into the wellness thing. And I specialized in stress management. And actually I wrote my thesis on the connection between the mind and body in stress and relaxation. I love this topic. This is something that I have really taken a deep dive into throughout my life. And I was shocked when things changed at middle-aged. All the things I had been doing were no longer working. I just felt like my stress was ratcheting up out of control. In this video, we're going to talk about relaxation and what works, what doesn't work. And then I want to share a few things that actually move the needle for me. So let's get into first talking a little bit about relaxation and stress, because this is what you need to know in order to really make a difference for yourself. So stress has always been a particular issue for me. I like to joke I'm a recovering stressaholic, and well, yes, I'm joking. The truth is that is actually what is going on with me. I definitely ride high, and I've always thought of myself as type A, but extreme. And it wasn't until I was 52 that I was diagnosed with pretty severe ADHD. And if you're not familiar with ADHD, adrenaline actually helps you focus. So I realized that one of my coping mechanisms was to stress myself out, like to do, back in school, I would do all the extra credit. I was captain of every sports team I was on. I was president of every club. Like, I excelled beyond excellence, really. I had teachers who would tell me, stop doing the work, you're fine, you don't need to do any more work, and I would still do even more. And I realized that now that was a coping mechanism for my ADHD, because it helped me focus. Now, the reason I share this with you is because I want you to realize that I am the person who can teach you about relaxation, because if I could figure it out, anybody can figure it out. And I will also add that I learned all sorts of ways to help me focus. I am medicated for my ADHD, but I also have many techniques now that help me focus so I don't have to adrenalize. So stay tuned, because the next video we're going to talk about energy and focus, and I'll be sharing some of those tips and tricks, since energy and focus are a bit of an issue at this stage in life, even without ADHD. I also have receipts. Yes. So on my watch, I have a Lily Garmin, highly recommend it. It measures stress levels, it measures my sleep, and it measures my body battery, which is your reserves of energy that you have. And these are the three things that I've really been tracking a lot. I talked about my sleep in my last video, so you can check that out and how it's improved. And it allows me to show you graphically how things have changed for me. So let's start with the before graphic. So here is where I was in 2023. And you can see my average stress was about 50 for the year. Not about, it was exactly 50 for the year. And then here is where I was last year. Average stress was 42. So a significant dip. You can even see that the line goes down. Now I can actually go back a little bit further because I got my watch in September of 2022. And you can see here, my average stress then was 53. So I've gone from 53 to 42, and I could not be more excited about this. I just love being able to see that the things I'm doing are actually working. Now, as I've already mentioned, in perimenopause, we become more sensitive to cortisol. And that's what leads to belly fat. And because we're feeling more stress, it affects our sleep, it affects whether we can fall asleep or stay asleep or wake up feeling refreshed. I talked about a lot of that in the last video. I'm not going to go into the physiology of that. You can Google it and find out more. I want to talk in this video about the physiology of stress and relaxation because I think this information really helps you understand what it is you need to do to help yourself. So here is my super quick stress response 101 in a nutshell. So we have in our body, you have your nervous system. And in one aspect of the nervous system is called the autonomic nervous system, okay? It has two branches, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic. Sympathetic is the stress response, parasympathetic is the relaxation response. Now let me emphasize, there is nothing wrong with the stress response. People often come to me thinking it's just bad all the time. There's a physiological reason for it. We use it, we need it. It helps us, okay? What it doesn't help us with is when we're igniting it day after day after day after day, all day long, which is where most of us are living, okay? And the relaxation response is where the body does the rest, relax, restore, renew. It's where cells renew, the immune system does what it needs to do. It's where we want to be living from most of the time, but we're not. We're living from here. Now, the stress response is meant to be used during the fight or flight, right? When you feel like your life is in danger, and so you need to protect yourself. And when that happens, the body reacts by moving the blood, if you will, the energy of the body, the blood to your extremities, to your arms and your legs so you can fight or you can run, to your brain so you can think fast, and it moves it away from what are called secondary systems. The three main secondary systems are your immune system, your digestive system, and your reproductive system. Because who cares if you can digest if there's a saber-toothed tiger coming at you, right? Who cares if you can reproduce at that time? We don't worry about our cycle when our life is in danger. But when we live in the stress response day after day after day after day, then these don't get the energy they need, and that's why we have so many issues with the immune disorders, reproductive disorders, digestive disorders, okay? I speak from experience on that one. And we need to bring ourselves back into a state of rest so that our body can do what it does naturally, which is heal, restore, renew. The next thing you want to understand about this system is it runs like a balance scale. So on one side, you've got the stress response. On the other side, you've got the parasympathetic. And they are both constantly running, but one is in dominance. Okay, so one is functioning the way the body's reacting to. Okay, so the only off switch, if you will, to stress is by stimulating relaxation. Okay, does that make sense? I really want you to think about that. There is no off switch to stress. Okay, it's only reducing the stress by deepening your relaxation. It's why I often talk about stress management is we're focused on the wrong thing. We need to be focused on relaxation management. The next thing you need to remember with this whole system is that in order to relax, in order to shift right? We actually need to have physiologically relax the body, not just numb the mind, which is what we're often doing when we think we're relaxing. So if you remember at the beginning of the video, I was saying things that we're normally doing, like binging TV, drinking wine, taking a nap. We think we're relaxing, but we're not. We're just numbing the mind. And that's why often when you turn off the TV, you're like, I don't feel a whole lot better. Now, what happens when you drink wine, for example, and I just wanted to share with you, this is what a night looked like for me after I had a couple of glasses of wine. And you'll see that orange bars mean I was in the stress response. And this is the way it normally looks. I get a few blue bars, mostly blue bars when I'm having a good night. And that means that I'm in the relaxation response. My body is doing what we want it to do. It's resting, restoring, renewing. Now, here's the thing with this night of stress. I slept through the night. I remember it vividly. I woke up feeling very groggy and not well rested, right? Like you can see why I didn't get into that relaxing, restorative sleep. And I talk more about that in the previous video, so you might want to check that out. So the things that we do that we think are relaxing aren't actually relaxing ourselves. We're not moving into that physiological relaxation. And that's what I want to share with you, how to get into that. I played with many things to help me relax through the year. And I want to share with you the 3 biggies that really, really moved the needle for me. And I continue to use these now to help myself. The first one is working with the vagus nerve. Now, if you're not familiar with the vagus nerve, it's getting a bit of a renaissance right now. A lot of wellness people are talking about it, and that's because it is awesome. So the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body. It runs from behind your eye down, so it goes through the brain. It's a cranial nerve, comes down through the neck, comes all the way down, and moves through your diaphragm and moves into the gut. When we tone this or work with it or stimulate it, it helps set off the parasympathetic nervous system. It shifts you into relaxation. And one of the things I discovered is the more I did it, the faster I moved into relaxation. And working with the vagus nerve is so easy. It runs by the vocal cords, so if you hum or gargle, it helps stimulate the vagus nerve. Moving your head and your eyes, because it is an optic nerve too. It goes right behind the eye. So just tipping your head in one direction, taking your eyes in another direction can stimulate the vagus nerve. Splashing your face with cold water can stimulate the vagus nerve. Rubbing your neck. So many things. And I just encourage you to Google out on YouTube and you'll find tons of videos. I have played with so many different exercises, and if you want, I'll create a video of my favorite ones, the ones that affected me the most. So feel free to comment below and let me know, and I can put one together with my favorite ones. I do these exercises in my yoga classes all the time now with my students, and I actually have a couple of videos, yoga videos I did, relaxation ones with vagus nerve work incorporated, and I will link those below so you can check those out as well. Vagus nerve, such an easy way to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. The next thing I worked with a lot of success was essential oils. Now, essential oils have been part of my family's wellness for over a dozen years. We have used them regularly, and there are certain ones that I found really helpful for me. And there is tons of research into this now. You can feel free to Google it and find out more. I definitely love lavender. That's a pretty obvious one. Chamomile is a good one for me. And then my brand partner, Young Living, has a few blends. I love Stress Away and I love Peace and Calming. And I really, really enjoy Tranquil. And I will link below to all of my favorite relaxation oils for you if you want to check them out. Just know that quality does make a difference. So you definitely want a good quality oil. It's why we only use Young Living. It's like comparing freshly picked organic strawberries to strawberry jello, right? There's a range of strawberry flavors out there. Some have lots of nutrients, some have chemicals and synthetics and things that make them dangerous for you. Same is true for essential oils. So make sure you're getting high quality oils. I do love Young Living. they've actually made a huge difference in our lives. I just started incorporating relaxation oils more. So I would diffuse them when I was taking a bath, diffuse them while I was sleeping, diffuse them in the afternoon. In the mornings, I like to use a really good focus oil. I'll talk more about those in the next video. But in the afternoon, I choose to have more of a calming oil. It's just what works with me. You've got to play with what helps you the most. Hey, have you learned one thing from this video yet? If so, give me a thumbs up. If you've learned 2 things, subscribe to this channel. It's totally free, and I would really appreciate it. It makes a huge difference for my channel and helping me get my information out in front of more people. Now, if you've learned 3 things, send it to a friend. Let them know that there might be something in it for them as well. Thanks for joining me, and let's get back to the content. Finally, number 3, not going to be a big surprise for you, but yoga. Now, I want to share 3 things, though, around yoga. First of all, just stretching in general is wonderful. There are times when my stress is really high, I can't seem to break it, and it's because I'm holding it in my body. Like, we literally hold that tension in the body, which affects your mind, creating more stress, which then affects the body, creating more stress and tension in the body. It is the cycle that we need to break, right? So just getting on my yoga mat for 10 minutes and getting a nice stretch, a little bit of everything, makes me shift from the orange to the blue with my stress. So I know it's making a huge difference. And I will link below to a couple of the videos that I've shared that are just really simple, release the tension in the body so you can relax. The second thing that I really like to focus on with yoga is restorative yoga in particular. So restorative yoga is, my husband likes to call it the bubble bath of yoga classes. But it's when you get into a position and you hold it for a very long time. So you're in poses for 5 to 15, 20 minutes even. And that allows the body to really relax. You feel your breath and you're being folded, if you will, in a way that helps your body relax more deeply. And that just makes such a difference for me. I just feel like I get a reset every time I do it. Now, I do teach online 1 restorative yoga class a month. So if you want to check it out, I will link below so you can find the schedule. The third thing I wanted to share around yoga is one particular pose, and that is feet up the wall. This simple pose helps me shift into relaxation so fast, and I am not the only one. This is something that's very powerful for my students too, and that's why I wanted to share it with you. There's actually a physiological reason for this. You have what's called a baroreceptor around your carotid artery. Maybe it's in your carotid artery. Anyway, and it assesses the blood pressure in your carotid artery to protect your brain. Okay, when you put your feet up the wall, your blood pressure goes up in the carotid artery. The baroreceptor notices it and then tells the heart, slow down, lower the blood pressure, relax, basically. So putting your feet up the wall is a very powerful way to shift into that relaxation really fast. This is something that, especially if I'm experiencing stress, I will do this once or twice during the day. Just get my feet up, have a calming oil in the diffuser, or just put it on my hands, breathe it in, and it helps me relax pretty quickly. Within minutes now, it becomes, I think, Pavlovian. Your body is trained to relax. It's incredibly powerful. Let's get you set up now. How can you get started with this? Well, the first and probably most important thing is to start small. The thing with stress is it's going to make you feel like you don't have enough time to do anything new, right? Like, that is the fallacy that occurs. And I know you might be thinking, I hardly had time to listen to this video. What are you talking about, Laura? There's nothing I can add into my life, but we always can find a way to add something if it's important enough to us. But start small. Start really small. Start with just doing some deep breathing as you drive to work, or taking 3 deep breaths in bed before getting out of bed. Like, you can start really small. Doing vagus nerve work. I have students who do it at red lights because it's super easy. And you have to learn what you're doing, of course, to check out those videos, but it does not have to be hard at all. Start diffusing essential oils, really calming essential oils right when you get home from work. Get started. Or if you can do it at work too. If you're not in a big open space, it's kind of nice to do for yourself as well. The second thing you do is create rituals. And this makes it a little bit easier because realize that every time we're changing habits, it takes effort because it's just easier to go along with the dailiness of life, right? So every time we change something and we're building a new habit, it takes work. So instead, if you see it as a ritual, maybe you have a transition ritual when you come home from work and you take off your coat, you set your stuff down, you sit down, you do 3 vagus nerve exercises. It'll take you 5 minutes to get them done. Then you get up and you get ready. Or maybe you put your feet up on the bed headboard before you go to sleep at night. I did that for a very long time. That was my ritual. I just put my feet up for 5 minutes or so. 10, 15 if I needed it, but it helped me sleep more deeply. So it was worth taking 5 minutes out of my sleep in order to sleep more deeply, right? So think small and think in terms of rituals. This is my waking up ritual to get the day started right. This is my going to sleep ritual. This is my transition from work ritual. And it makes it a little bit easier to incorporate. Finally, be sure to listen to your body. And this is one of the benefits, I think, of relaxing is I feel like I'm more attuned to what my body needs. When I'm running high, it's like, no, I just got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I got to keep moving. Whereas when I'm relaxed, I'm more in tune. Like, what does my body actually need right now? Does it need to rest? Does it need to go for a walk and get some of the energy out? Does it need yoga? Listen to your body and allow your body to be your guide as you shift into all of these great new habits. I don't think there is anything more important to tap into than relaxation at this stage in your life. It's going to help you sleep. It's going to help you lose weight. Do you know I dropped 5 pounds in like a month without changing anything except relaxation. So the only thing I added was relaxation and I dropped 5 pounds. Like it was amazing. It's going to help you focus. It's going to give you more energy. There is nothing that drains my energy more for my body battery than stress. I can do a hard workout, like HIIT workout, really sweaty, 20 minutes, and I'll drain maybe 5 points. I can sit at my desk feeling stressed out over something and lose 20 points in an hour. Like it drains your energy so fast. So if I could recommend a place to begin, it would be relaxation. You're going to sleep better, you're going to have more energy, you're going to have more focus, you're going to start to lose weight faster, more easily. It does so many good things. Now, I'm linking below with all the things that I talked about today. Hopefully I get them all. Feel free to comment below with any questions that you have. I will do my best to answer them. And then stay tuned because I believe the next one is going to be energy and focus. So that will be a good one, I am sure. Now I want to add one more thing. You might want to join my wellness community. It's totally free. We are doing a sleep/relaxation challenge. If you're listening to this in January of 2024 or February, we're going to do it in late February. So you might want to check that out and join us. All right, thanks for joining me. I hope this has helped you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.